It now smells like a humid day inside Joy Behar's moo-moo. The motives stink worse than Joy Behar's jog bra. I mean, assuming she jogs. Oh, wait, there she is. She has a point. Maybe I am obsessed, but some people are obsessed with Bigfoot, and they don't get to see him on TV every afternoon. And if they did, could they tell the two apart? I don't know. But,
and by the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
How dare you disagree?
Joy Behar didn't casually drift into controversy. She dove headfirst into it with a mic in one hand and a half-baked opinion in the other. Imagine this, to completely different commentators, Bill Maher and Greg Gutfeld both landing punches on the same target without ever coordinating. No smoke-filled backroom. No secret strategy, just a polar opposites somehow agreeing that Joy Behar has become the queen of political nonsense. It's not that she's a villain, it's that she's the face of what happens when daytime TV stops valuing thoughtful conversation. Maher is like the weary uncle at a family dinner, glass of red in hand, using reason to dismantle nonsense. Gutfeld, think class clown with sharp wit, tossing jabs that hit harder than anything in the show's script. Despite their different approaches, they both let her have it. Last week, Behar accused Elon Musk of backing apartheid, then awkwardly begged him not to take legal action. Musk's lawyers haven't responded. Maybe they're still checking if farmyard libel rules apply to talk show host. Audience laughs, cue applause. Was it brutal? Maybe, but that's the state of things. So what's Joy's latest offense? Nothing new, just her standard recipe of hyperbole, dramatic flair, and self-righteous monologues. This time, though, Maher and Gutfeld decided enough was enough. Maher used sly mockery. Gutfeld pulled no punches. Suddenly, Joy wasn't hosting the segment, she was the punchline. Also, hit that like and subscribe button. It keeps stories like this alive.
Joy Behar accused Elon Musk of being pro-apartheid, but then begged him afterwards not to sue. Musk lawyers have yet to comment because they're still checking to see if it's legal to sue a cow.
Shots fired.
Just a legal question. I don't know why it's so upsetting. I don't make the rules in this country.
Bill Maher didn't have to drop any names. Viewers instantly knew who he was skewering. He aimed straight at the media personality Joy Behar has evolved into. Someone who replaces actual dialogue with performative outrage and interprets applause as absolute truth. Maher isn't flashy, he talks like a man stuck in a room full of people who think viral clips count as hard news. His gripe that figures like Joy have turned political discourse into something closer to bad improv theater. His commentary was precise and biting. He painted a picture of TV segments where facts don't matter, and hosts act more like amateur dramatists than thoughtful analysts. He went after the fake virtue, the constant overreaction, and the delusion that being loud and indignant somehow equals being right even when you're clearly wrong.
View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but
It's
isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
That's correct. I think that's not.
That skating takedown fit Joy Behar like it was tailored just for her. She doesn't discuss, she performs. Maher didn't need to say her name because the sarcasm did all the talking, practically bouncing off the walls of The View. What made it sting more? Maher isn't some conservative firebrand, he's politically aligned with her. That's what made the blow hit harder. It wasn't political warfare, it was ideological intervention. It wasn't a diss, it was a red flag from within her own team. Meanwhile, Gutfeld didn't use precision, he came in swinging. If Maher's critique was a scalpel, Gutfeld's was a sledgehammer. He didn't hold back, he mocked her with reckless joy to him. Joy isn't a commentator, she's material for a stand-up set. Her dramatic delivery, attention-craving tone, and constant...
That Gutfeld talks about you all the time.
Who is he? Really, who is he?
I don't watch the show.
He has a show.
I don't watch the
never
show.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess he's just obsessed with me.
No. Next, Joy's gonna say she's never heard of carbs. Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch at Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the...
Depending on how dark your sense of humor runs, Gutfeld's roast was either a brutal beatdown or a long overdue cleansing. What made it hit the mark? He didn't need to exaggerate. Joy's delivery has become so cartoonishly smug that her critics just quote her, no edits required. So when Gutfeld compared her to a toddler hammering a piano noisy, disorganized, but technically still performing, it didn't feel like a punchline. It felt accurate. But the real twist wasn't in what was said, it was that both Maher and Gutfeld reached the same conclusion on their own. No phone call, no shared script, just two very different commentators having the same realization. Joy Behar now symbolizes everything broken about modern political discussion. That's not a coincidence, it's a signal flare. When to people who'd argue over cereal brands agree you're the problem, maybe it's time to take stock. The kicker? Joy wasn't even present for some of this. She didn't need to be. Her reputation, her voice, her interruptive style, they spoke for her.
I want them to pay attention to words like vermin and poisoning the blood and the Third Reich. That's all. That's really what I'm asking.
They see Trump as a comedian. They see him as a clown who says crazy
They
things.
saw Hitler like that.
Right, okay, but that doesn't mean, you can hate Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It is half the...
But this wasn't fiction, it was Joy Behar, unfiltered and live. And the reviews? Absolutely scathing. The moment that truly ignited the fire. Joy compared wearing a MAGA hat to wearing a Nazi armband. No joke, she meant it. That was
getting hit with one of the worst hurricanes that will ever see.
But she should know, does anyone remember that time when she got carried away by Hurricane Sandy? Take a look. Thank you.
And Joy Behar, with her flair for dramatics and messiah complex, has been waving that torch for years. That MAGA hat remark wasn't just tone deaf, it was outright ludicrous. It made clear that Joy is not chasing conversation, she's chasing shock value and moral applause. When Maher finally stepped in, it didn't feel like a political critique, it felt like someone in her own circle finally snapping. For over 20 years, Joy's taken every story from pop culture fluff to global catastrophe and turned it into her personal monologue. TED Talk style, whether anyone asked or not. She delivers her opinions like she's preaching to a fan club or pitching a religion. Just days ago, she accused Elon Musk of flirting with authoritarianism, then practically begged not to get sued for it. She throws wild claims like darts in a blackout, hoping one sticks.
And finally, new rules. Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma. Sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Greg Gutfeld didn't pull punches, he opened with a haymaker. He joked that Elon Musk's legal team was still reviewing agricultural case law to determine if you could sue a cow for defamation. Cruel. Absolutely. But it struck a nerve, because Joy doesn't argue from facts, she argues from feelings. When pushed, she doesn't clarify, she doubles down. Picture a retired drama teacher with Wi-Fi and an Instagram account, convinced her every rant is a one-woman Broadway debut. Each episode becomes an emotional monologue where logic is optional, and outrage is the standing ovation. That's what makes her such easy pickings not because she's unique, but because she's perfected the worst traits of pundit culture. So, when two ideologically opposed commentators land the same punchline, without coordination, it's not a fluke, it's a pattern. One that finally got aired out in full HD.
Here's Joy Behar talking about refusing to share a kidney.
I find my friends bizarre. With a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them.
Hey, Joy, it's a kidney, not a pizza. Of course, she's kidding at first, but then she goes on to explain the moral foundation for her resentment, and it's the same one that drives all deadly ideologies.
Then came the moment that made the whole internet blink. Joy Behar, on national television, claimed she didn't even know who Greg Gutfeld was. She dismissed him like a substitute teacher reading off a wrong attendance sheet. Who is he? I don't watch that show. As if she hadn't been a recurring character in his weekly roast sessions. Naturally, Gutfeld didn't just clap back, he detonated. With the precision of someone who's been waiting for this setup, he dismantled the phony aloofness with one scorched earth line.
If The View is your favorite show, you might be a little slow. Yes, it's time for
Our View on The View.
very serious music. They love to play the race card because logic for them is...
Next, she'll say she's never heard of carbs. He cracked, peeling apart her denial like it was a leftover prop from The View's costume closet. He called it as fake as her highlights and as full of hot air as her closing monologues. But the humor wasn't just cheap, it was calculated. Joy wasn't just pretending she didn't know Gutfeld. She was trying to erase him.
Talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So she was, everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But